Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I thought today I would share with you some of the products that I've recently bought from Sephora since it came to the UK. Quite exciting, we'll have a little chat about that. And I'm going to put them on my face as we go to show you them in action. First things first, I'll put my hair out of my face. Because I haven't done any skincare or anything this morning. Done the school run and been to Morrison's without even a touch of moisturiser on this face. So I'm going to use the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream because it is the most heavy duty moisturiser I've got that I can still wear underneath makeup. I know I'm going in a weird order, but usually I would have put my moisturiser on much earlier and then I would do this step before my makeup. And this is the Pixi Essence Oil. I've also got a vitamin C priming oil from Pixi, but this is my favourite of the two. So it's like a biophase, it's got two different layers. You shake it up, it's kind of half essence, half oil. So it's much more liquidy than an oil. It's like a, you see, kind of more of a almost more watery really, but it's still got a slight oiliness to it, but it absorbs better. And if you are someone who gets kind of dry or flaky skin at this time of year, you will love this as a primer. And this PS Vitamin Fix, I don't even know if you can still get this because I got this a few months ago from Primark, but I really like it. Definitely just sprayed that in my mouth. Fair dupe, I would say, for the Urban Decay Quick Fix, which I just finished. Both of them feel kind of like skincare forward primers. Same as the priming oil, or the essence oil rather. The priming oil is the other one, but they basically do the same kind of thing. You're kind of prepping your skin so that your skin is as good as it can possibly be to put the makeup on top of it. You're not using it to prime your face to adhere makeup to it. I know, when is she going to get into the Sephora haul? It's now. So I bought the Best Skin Ever Glow Foundation. I was looking at some reviews from American YouTubers as to like what the best stuff was to try from the Sephora collection, because for me, that's the stuff I'm excited about. Got the shade 17.5N or 17.5N. Really can't read. I struggled with this one because obviously I can only see online, and I was looking at people who I would say with similar skin tone from America, and we don't have the same shade selection as they do. So I was kind of like, well, I don't really know which one to choose, and I decided to err on the side of a little bit too deep, because in the past I've made the mistake of thinking, well, I'd rather be paler than I am and then kind of bronze up and be the right shade with other products. And then I realised, it took me a really long time, I realised that all of these foundations that I was testing out, especially ones that I would do like full day tests, and I was like, oh my god, this looks so terrible. That was because the shade was too pale for me. And when a shade is too pale versus too dark, it's a completely different animal. Because if I get a too deep shade, then worst case scenario, yeah, okay, maybe it's a little bit patchy, or maybe it just kind of doesn't blend with the rest of me because it's the wrong shade for me. But it doesn't exacerbate that, you know, like when you've got a really, really pale foundation on and it kind of sits in your pores or sits around dryness. All of that is so much worse when your foundation's too light, and I didn't realise that. That's why I'm an enthusiast and not a makeup artist or a professional in any way, because I swear to God I was doing this for a decade. I feel like there are a lot of foundations I should go back and apologise to. It's a really nice coverage for me. I would say this is kind of light to medium. You can definitely build it up, but I can still see my skin through it. But it's evened everything out and given a really nice finish. It is a glow. I was really on the fence between getting this and the original, which is like a matte formula, and I'm really glad that I went for the glow because this is definitely more my thing. I was wondering, I'm usually Calico in number 7 foundations. That's my absolute perfect shade match. In fact, shall I swatch them next to each other? Let me show you those two next to each other. If they are different, they are. But just so you know, because they're just different tones. This is the Sephora 17.5, what's wrong with me? 17.5N. And then this is Calico, which is really a lot more pink. I think my skin pulls a lot more yellow, but I mean, even there, don't you think this part of my skin is more this and this part of my skin is more this? Isn't that bizarre? So they are two completely different tones of foundation, but I kind of feel like I can make them both work because the depths it's very similar, isn't it? In fact, you know what? This might be closer. Not new, but I have been playing around with this Infallible 24-hour More Than Concealer a little bit, again, too deep for me really, but just playing around with it, seeing how I like it, because I've been wearing makeup a lot more often, just to give me opportunity to test things and like play around with application and stuff that maybe I don't pull this stuff out because as and when I wear makeup, it needs to work for me. I need to allow a little bit of playtime. When I have room for error, that's what it's all about, isn't it? And I've been really enjoying this. I think it lasts really well. I actually had the powder foundation version of this and I really liked that as well, but it smashed. And to be fair, it was a little bit dark, so maybe I'll go back and get a lighter shade of that because that was really nice. Very nice for touch-ups during the day. Didn't look too cakey at all to say it was a powder with a decent coverage. Using the NYX HD eyeshadow base, it is definitely 100% just as good as the Urban Decay Primer Potion. I think my favourite of the moment. This is new, this was sent to me recently. It's the Naked Sin mini palette. I would not have picked this up. It doesn't look like it's going to give me enough variety in here. Like maybe for one eye look, yeah. I've been using this for the past like week and a half, every single day. Love it, love it, love it, love it. For like everyday eyes, I can get quite a smoky, dramatic eye with this dark shade. The stuff in the middle, I really enjoy it. I'll start off with Boring, which is the least boring shade, that one in the middle. It's the one that I use the most. And I'm putting it on kind of 2/3 of my lid and a little bit into my crease. Then I'm going to use this darkest shade, which is Twisted, to deepen the very outer corner and the crease. Soften that a little bit. Then with a fluffy brush, I'm going to go Unlucky, which is that shade there, and do the inner corner kind of to the middle, but I don't want to go over too much of that medium brown shade. Same brush, I'm going to go for the very palest colour, which is this one, Bad Habit, and just put that in the very corner. And I spritz one of these little brushes, these little fiddly angled brushes. I mean, it doesn't have to be angled really, it can just be, you know, a thin eyeliner brush, but I like this one. This is the Morphe M217, and I spritzed it with the Superfix from Missguided because I find that this is the best for doing this with specifically, because it gives me the best, longest lasting line. I take the very darkest shade again, which is not that dark, and I'm gonna take my eyeliner higher than I usually would. So like here, bring it up so I'm kind of lifting my eye. Whereas I used to do my eyeliner like from where the tail of my lid was, I'm bringing it higher now and drawing it along. Just kind of a little soft wing. Once the brush is dry, I soften it, just kind of go over it a few times so it's not a harsh line. And then I take a brush like this, just something kind of soft and pointy, just kind of like smudge it a little bit, because again, I don't want it to be like a liquid liner. It's a powder liner, which is easier, softer, more flattering, and lifts my eyes. Right, I'm going to curl my lashes. I'm testing another new product, a mascara, Lancome. This was sent to me this week. Lash Idole. I feel like it's Idole, but I don't know. I've never used a lot of Lancome stuff. I have to say, I mean, I really do try to reserve judgment with mascara because often the best ones are better after a couple of weeks, because once they dry out a little bit, it's kind of how I like them. So far, I like it. It doesn't feel like a premium product. Like the packaging is nice, but the actual mascara itself, I'm like, I'm gonna just wait and use this a little while longer before I tell you how I really feel about it. It is nice. And I think it's nicer now than when I first opened it already, and it's only been a week. Also, no transfer or flaking or anything, because I know that's something that people want to know. And something that I very rarely think about, because my very favourite mascaras, it's not an issue. My Lash Sensational from Maybelline, do you know what? The more I use this, the more I do like it. I really don't want to fall in love with an expensive mascara though, so I think that's possibly part of why in the back of my mind I'm like, it's not that great, you know, it's not. Another product I bought from Sephora, the Sephora Collection. This is Chill in the Air, and I thought, it says long lasting on the back, so we'll see. I thought from the review, from the description and from looking at it, it might be a bit of a dupe for my NARS Sex Appeal that I love so much, because I was like, it's kind of like a soft pink. It says it kind of has a bit of a glow, but it's still like a matte finish, which I don't know if that's actually true, but that's what it said online. To me, this is really warm. Like, this is a cool pink, would you say? I mean, I know it's got those little nuggets of difference in there, but it's quite a cool product, or at very least neutral. It doesn't feel really, really warm, especially when you put it next to the other products online. But this feels very warm once I get it on my cheeks. It's almost like a bronze. And look at that colour there. It's almost like a bronzer. So no, it's nothing like the NARS that I love. I mean, it's similar in that you can kind of put a little bit on and build it up, which I really like. And I do really like the colour, I do, but it's not a dupe. It's very bronzy. It's very, very bronzy. I have noticed recently that my brows have been fading much quicker. I was waiting for them to fade for a long time. For those of you that don't know, I have microbladed eyebrows, and I felt like after a little while, because my tattoos that I have everywhere don't look fantastic. They're kind of like, they get blurry. I continue to have them because why? I don't know. Self-control, impulse, I don't know. I have them in various places, and they're either raised or blurry, and they take ages to heal because my body doesn't want the ink in it. And so when I had my brows done, super happy with them because I had, you know, 90s overplucked eyebrows and they were just really sparse and awful. And so when I had them done, I was really happy. I had them done probably like 3 or 4 times over the course of a few years. And my concern was that they were just going to end up being kind of a blur of an eyebrow. And you couldn't really see the strokes, like the hair strokes. It was just an eyebrow. It was like a colour. So I wasn't loving that. So I decided that I would try and grow out my actual eyebrows. I'm using the Rapid Brow, which is amazing. I'll link it for you below. Absolutely fantastic. Works so well. I've never tried the Rapid Lash. I don't know why. End of sentence. I really, really don't know why I've never tried it, because I've had the Rapid Brow before. The one thing about the Rapid Brow is once you stop using it completely, the effects wear off. So what I've done is this most recent one. I'll probably only use it like once a week. So I just kind of put it through my brows, and I'm feeling like that's maintaining without me having to spend a lot on like a tube every 6 weeks, which is pretty much how long it was lasting me. After one tube, I'd seen amazing results, and then I can kind of just maintain it. But you have to still be putting it on at least once a week, in my experience, because I used it before, grew out my brows, amazing, amazing, had them all tinted and waxed. I couldn't believe they were my brows, and then I stopped and they just went back to what they were. So worth noting. They're fading out really well now. They go pink. They go a weird colour for me, and I want to fade them out. Not completely, I'm just kind of using them as stencils right now. But I want to fade them out enough that I can go and have them redone and you can see a more like the brow hairs, and they're not just kind of blended into one. But I just have a feeling that I'll wait ages and ages. It's been over a year now, maybe like a year and a half. I'll wait ages and ages, fade them out, and then have it done again and be like, ugh, I should have just not. A couple more things that I got from Sephora. I got the cream lip stain is what I'm looking for. The words were in there. The cream lip stain in, I think this is 01. It is. I can't remember what it's called. Something red. Simply Red, maybe? Something red. I feel like I made a mistake with this because it's such a basic red, and I've definitely got other ones like it. I'm not going to put it on my mouth because it doesn't at all go with the makeup that I'm wearing today. But the cream lip stains from Sephora were the #1 reason I was excited for Sephora to come to the UK. All the colours that I want are out of stock. And I wanted to order one to show you, but also because I hadn't got a red. I've got a really amazing pink that hilariously I posted about it a couple of years ago, and someone messaged, I didn't post about it, I was wearing it in a video, and someone messaged me and said, what are you wearing in this video? And I said, I'm really sorry, it's from Sephora, it's not that easy to get. And when Sephora came to the UK, she messaged me and she said, like, I've waited 18 months, but it was the first thing I bought. They are fantastic. They're not super drying. you know, they are a liquid lip, so they are what they are, but they last so well. Really, really comfortable to wear. And they've got a million different colours. So as and when I can get the ones that I want, I'm going to do a full video on these, I think. But that is the colour that I got. I also got a new pencil sharpener because the one that I had, which was from Urban Decay, super last legs at this point. So I thought I would just test this out. It just keeps falling apart, the one from Urban Decay. Oh, it's smooth. It's nice. Right, this is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, and this is how much of it I've got left. It's sad times. So I'm going to put this on because I also have a lip gloss. I already had this one. This is the Outrageous Plump Effect in 01. And when Sephora launched in the UK, several people messaged me and said, this might be what you're looking for to be a dupe for the Dior lip maximizer that I love. And I was like, already on it. I've had this for a little while. I bought it in America, but obviously it was pointless talking about it because you couldn't get it here. And so when Sephora came to the UK, I bought the extra version, Outrageous Intense, and I got a slightly different colour. This is definitely more intense than this one. This one is like, yeah, I can kind of feel it. It's similar to the Dior, very, very similar. The difference being that the Dior has got kind of a bit more milkiness to it. The particular shade that I've got is not that easy to find. I think it was a like a holiday collection or something at some point, because the shade doesn't correspond with the shade, like the number doesn't correspond with the number online now, but it's kind of just like a milky something. That's difficult to find. More so than the plumping element. It's that kind of wash of something, like a milky pink. That's the thing that I love the most about that particular product. It's not even the plumping effect. This is like, it says it's intense and it says it's long lasting, and man, oh man. It also tastes amazing, but it will make you tongue numb. It is serious, serious stuff. A proper tingle for a really long time. Let's talk about everything else that was in the box. So I got 2 samples. I haven't tested either of them yet. I got the Elisa perfume. Let's see. Nice. I love a perfume sample because I've never got little mini perfumes when I actually want them, you know, to put in your handbag or to take on a plane with you. Don't spray perfume on a plane. Bathroom, not on a plane. Don't be that person. And the Jimmy Choo, I Want Choo. Oh, it smells so weird. Completely different. That's like a kind of fruity, fresh. This is kind of more my thing, kind of musky. Everything came in this box. It came with a label to return things, a receipt that tells me what's in here. What I do like about this is it tells me what's in there and how much everything cost. Some of the lip gloss made its way into my mouth. And now it's in my throat. Intense, intense. And right, and then there was this envelope, which I was quite excited to open. I was like, an envelope, what is this all about? In this envelope, were leaflets. So, you know, like if you've ever had HelloFresh before, they will throw in like a load of leaflets that are like, you can also get money off on all these random things. You expect that with certain things. I don't know if Feel Unique did this because Sephora purchased Feel Unique. For those of you that didn't know, it basically just took over their model in the UK and rebranded as Sephora with a load of new brands. Did Feel Unique used to do that? Because I think that's a weird thing to come with makeup. Kind of annoyed me. Very irrational. But I was like, this is not a cheap package. I'm like splurging at Sephora. I'm like buying myself some nice things. I don't want you to make money on this by leafleting me. No. And I honestly don't know why I feel that way, because I don't feel that way when they come with HelloFresh. Maybe because it feels more relevant to what I'm purchasing. Whereas with this, it's like, what? Why? So my overall experience, I'm definitely going to order from them again because there's loads more things that I want to try. I'm really excited about some of the brands that have come via Sephora. I'm excited about their, what I'm looking for, loyalty scheme model. So, you know, like a bit like the Boots Points, they have like VIB. I'm excited to test that out and see what kind of deals we get and what kind of benefits we get from exclusively shopping with them. So I'm now going to make a concerted effort to shop only with Boots and Sephora. what I can't get from Sephora, I'll buy from Boots, and vice versa, because they have the best reward schemes. To my knowledge, you know, we'll see how the Sephora one goes, but I think it's going to be pretty good. So I'm kind of happy with that. I did the same thing that I've done with ASOS, where you basically pay, I think it's $9.99 or $9.95, something like that, and you get free next day shipping for the year. It just makes sense, because same as with ASOS, if you ever want anything next day, it's like £7 anyway, so you may as well add a couple of pounds and get it for a year. It works for them as well, of course, because it means that if there's anything I ever want and I want it the next day, I'm more likely to purchase through Sephora than I am from somewhere else. This is why I use Amazon so much. It's why I use ASOS so much. Anything where you can guarantee it will be with me tomorrow, I'm much more likely to purchase from you than I am from somewhere else. And for me, it just makes sense, because I know I'm going to want to try more from the range, and it's going to pay for itself pretty quickly. But it's definitely also going to encourage me to maybe spend more than I would, and the impulse will be there where maybe I'd be like, $3.99 delivery, maybe I'll wait. I was most excited about Sephora Collection because that is the one thing that for sure we couldn't get elsewhere. There's loads of brands are now here that didn't used to be here. Like if Sephora had come to the UK again, because it was here and then it left a long time ago, if Sephora had come back to the UK 5 years ago, it would have been a completely different thing. It would have been a total game changer. Because they've waited so long to come back, it didn't feel as exciting because everything's more accessible now. There weren't that many things that I was like, oh, I wish I could get this. And there are still some brands that I still can't get that I was kind of hoping might come through Sephora. So I haven't been like bowled over by, oh, wow, now we can get these things. It's really just the Sephora Collection. And a lot of that is a lot more expensive than it is in the US. I know the brushes that I wanted to try out, they're more expensive here. I mean, everything's basically just like dollar to pound. Currently our exchange rate kind of works that way anyway, but it's not necessarily, like I remember I was looking while we were in Vegas, there were certain things that were actually cheaper to buy here than they were to buy there. You could see it. We went into Abercrombie and they had like a label that said something like $25 or like £18. That used to make sense, but now £25 is pretty much $25. But I digress. I was excited to try the Sephora Collection because it is obviously exclusive to Sephora. It is on the more affordable side, but it's still kind of up there. It's still kind of like L'Oreal prices. So I did use next day delivery and it did not come next day. It came after 2 days, which was slightly annoying given that I'd paid like £10 for this delivery because I'd done it for the year. But you know, it is what it is. And I had seen some other reviews where people had said similar things had happened. And obviously they're very, very busy right now, but it does feel like maybe the customer service is lacking slightly. And as with what has happened to other people, because again, I've watched other videos and I know this is happening, after the first full day, so I placed my order, decided what I was going to get. After the first full day, I got an email saying it's been dispatched. However, one of the items that I wanted was out of stock, which is really, really frustrating. Again, they're brand new, theoretically. But I would like to know how it's working in terms of like, have they taken over the warehouse of Feel Unique? Because if that's the case, they're not a completely brand new operation. If they've just bought out the whole thing and they've maybe been running Feel Unique for the past year because they purchased it last year, then it's not a brand new operation completely. And maybe they're just not managing things as well as they thought they would. Maybe they've just been super, super popular and they didn't expect the traffic. I don't know. But my first impressions are kind of lackluster, but I'm hopeful that it will get better with time. So we'll see. But I'd love to know what your experience has been, because I'm sure lots of you have already shopped on Sephora. Let me know if there's anything specific that you would like to see me test out from the site. Also, shall we just see? It's not indelible, but I was rubbing hard. What I wanted to show you was that it's not that kind of like crumbly sets to your lip, liquid lip. It's more like a really long-lasting lipstick. I'll show you. When we do a video about these, I'll show you, but it is not what you would think. If you guys are interested, I think I might do like an online Sephora, not an anti-haul, but kind of like a browse with me wish list, Black Friday deals, that kind of thing. Because there's quite a few things on there. I haven't really sat and taken the time to like really pour over everything that's online. They've got a lot of festive stuff that's quite interesting and some really good deals of like collections where you can explore. That's something that Sephora does really, really well. I'm really interested to see whether or not they bring those things to the UK, because they have some really nice collections of like lip, collections of like just generally colour cosmetics, usually some skincare, mascaras, that kind of thing, where you can have like a wardrobe of stuff. They're all minis and you can test lots of different products for a lot less money than you would if you were, oh, I need to try this, I need to try that. And I've bought those in the past from America and been really happy with them. So we'll have a look. I think that would be an interesting video for me, even if not for you. But thank you for watching this week, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! While I was filming this, Sephora sent me a text message saying up to 25% off, extra 10% off, only on the app. Hurry, today only. Is it listening to me? Also, my lips are on fire.